Hi everyone, I'm Mark Clements, Artistic Director, and I'm so glad you have joined us this evening for the announcement of Milwaukee Repertory Theater's upcoming 70th anniversary season. We invite you to let us know what city-state you're tuning in from, and please post comments in the chat, which we will do our very best to respond to. 7 decades ago, Milwaukee was one of the first cities in the country to build a professional theater. 70 years after our humble beginnings, Milwaukee Rep has become the largest performing arts organization in Wisconsin, providing world-class theater to 300,000 patrons annually. As we celebrate the milestone of being a key part of Milwaukee's vibrant arts scene for 70 years, it's also time to recognize that Milwaukee Rep has to plan for the future and the next 70 years. While it has served us well for 4 decades, our aging and inefficient theater complex severely limits the productions we stage, the plays we develop, and the kinds of educational impact we have. And this will soon jeopardize our mission. With that in mind, last fall we embarked on the Powering Milwaukee campaign to raise $75 million. To help launch the campaign, Associated Bank provided a $10 million sponsorship to support Milwaukee Rep's vision. In recognition of its leadership gift, our new theater complex will be named the Associated Bank Theater Center, and it will truly define the standard of theater in Wisconsin for generations to come. The campaign will fund the creation of a new complex, including 3 state-of-the-art performance spaces, a large unified lobby providing ample opportunities for community events, an expanded off-site production center employing hundreds of local artisans and venues with modern audience amenities. To date, the Powering Milwaukee campaign has raised $45 million. We have a long way to go to get to our $75 million target, and we hope that you will support us in our efforts to make sure that Milwaukee Rep is able to produce world-class theater for another 70 years and beyond. To learn more about this exciting project, visit us at milwaukeerep.com/poweringmilwaukee. Over the next several months, you'll start to hear more from us about how you can participate in the Powering Milwaukee campaign. In the short term, the best way you can help support Milwaukee Rep is to subscribe to our 70th anniversary season. So, let's talk about the 2023-24 season. To celebrate this extraordinary milestone, we've handpicked a season of exceptional plays, including our first world premiere musical on the main stage, beloved literary adaptations, the return of Milwaukee Rep favorites, and exciting new works. There will be a total of 12 plays, 11 as part of our subscription season, plus our annual holiday production of A Christmas Carol. We'll be producing 2 world premieres, the 3rd play of our Classic Play Initiative, and we are once again slated to serve over 20,000 students through our student matinee and in-school reading residency programs. I want to give a special thank you to the sponsors that have committed so far for next season. Without their ongoing support, many of the shows we have chosen for you would simply not be possible. Additionally, our entire season is sponsored in part by UPAF, the United Performing Arts Fund. We thank them and all of our sponsors for making this work possible. I'll be introducing the shows in our 70th anniversary season in chronological order. And kicking off the season, we will be in the Stackner Cabaret. We are pleased to be working again with our friends from Artist Lounge Live, the same team that brought us Get Happy. Angela Ingersoll sings Judy Garland, and last fall's unforgettable John Mark McGaha sings Nat King Cole. This time, we bring you Country Sunshine, the legendary ladies of Nashville, with Katie Deal running September 8th through October 29th. We'll celebrate the queens of classic country, Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Dolly Parton, Reba McEntire, and more. Katie Deal, who was last seen at Milwaukee Rep in Back Home Again on the Road with John Denver, leads a band of superb musicians and shares heartwarming stories with authentic Southern charm. The show features sing-along hits including Stand By Your Man, Crazy, Harper Valley PTA, Jolene, and Coal Miner's Daughter. Next up will be a world premiere rock musical in the Quadracci powerhouse called Run, Bambi, Run, which will play September 13th through October 22nd. Milwaukee Rep commissioned playwright Eric Simonson, a writer of the play Lombardi, and Gordon Gano, the lead guitarist and singer of the Violent Femmes, to write a musical about Laurencia Bambi Bembenek and the outrageous true crime saga that took the nation by storm. Laurencia's fall from Milwaukee Police Department cop to Playboy bunny lancer and the slammer, convicted of a murder that she didn't commit. Or did she? The truth is indeed stranger than fiction in this new musical, ripped from the headlines. I'll be directing this production, and I can't wait to share this piece with Milwaukee audiences. The first play in the Stemkey studio will be the world premiere of Parental Advisory, which was also commissioned by Milwaukee Rep. It will run September 26 through October 29. In this high-energy piece by award-winning playwright Idris Goodwin of HBO's Def Poetry Jam and the new artistic director of Seattle Children's Theater, two hip-hop artists mix slick beats and rhymes with important questions about censorship and expression in popular music. This engaging new play, half DJ jam session, half TED Talk, uses wit and humor to raise the question of when it is appropriate to introduce your children to the lyrics of artists such as the Wu-Tang Clan. This innovative new style of storytelling is going to be a terrific shared experience.
Hello, everybody. My name is Idris Goodwin. I'm the playwright for Parental Advisory, brand new script commissioned from Milwaukee Rep. I'm really excited about it because this play, all plays come from different places for me. I've written a lot of them, but this one came to me one day when I was literally just taking out the garbage. And I was just thinking of my son at the time was maybe 5. And I was just thinking about music and the music I love that meant a lot to me. And it just struck me that like some of the music that was formidable in my life, I have to make some decisions that my parents didn't have to make because of the era they came up in, meaning explicit lyrics in music didn't really exist when I was 5, right? Nor did the internet or any of these other things. And so I, as a modern parent, child of hip hop music, I had to think about these things. What is the appropriate age for my son to be exposed to the Wu-Tang Clan, right? Which I was a teenager when that album came out, right? So so that was like, oh yeah, this is a play that's like different, you know. It can kind of be set up like a concert, but like a TED Talk, but not, you know. I don't want it to be a lecture. These are still characters. This person is not me, but sort of represents my generation, that kind of thing. And so what came out of it was this piece, Parental Advisory, and I'm just going to read a little section of it just to kind of give you a sense of what I'm getting at. So this is the main character. The two characters, there's an MC and a DJ, you know, the classic hip hop setup. And so this is the MC just addressing the audience, the crowd, y'all. This torture track on Wu-Tang is pretty explicit, violent, ugly, juvenile. And my 6-year-old overheard some of it. I didn't know it at the time. The next day, I get a call from his school. Your son, he's very unique, very spirited, and we're happy to have him, truly, truly. But we have a code of conduct and a set of values. We are trying to mold young people into productive citizens. My son, my deep brown-skinned son, was walking around his affluent private school talking about driving a nail through someone's tongue. Yeah. But it does raise a really important question. And since this is, what'd you call it, a salon? And I have all of you here, you can help me figure this out. And it's deep. What is the appropriate age to play Wu-Tang for your child? Because it must happen. Every human being must enter the 36 chambers of the Wu-Tang Clan at least a dozen times in their life. Thank you. See y'all at opening.
He is such a lovely and gifted human being, and I can't wait for you to see the entire show. Back in the Stackner for the holiday season, we have Nuncrackers running November 3 through January 7. The hilarious Sisters of Nonsense, which we produced during the holidays in 2019, are back, and this time they're spreading Yuletide laughs, cheerful carols, and the gift of festive mischief. From the basement of Mount St. Helens Convent, they take to the airwaves to broadcast the new cable access Christmas special, complete with mostly traditional holiday songs, like Here We Come A-Waffling, We Three Kings of Orient Are Us, a silly Secret Santa contest, the not-so-graceful take on Tchaikovsky's Nutcracker Ballet, and loads of laughs that only the Little Sisters of Hoboken can provide. This show is perfect for all ages and will have you laughing all the way through the new year. The holiday season also brings a murder mystery to the Quadracci Powerhouse with the powerful Dial M for Murder, running November 14 through December 17. This classic, which inspired Alfred Hitchcock's masterpiece film, has been newly adapted by acclaimed playwright Jeffrey Hatcher, who has a long-time association with Milwaukee Rep. A jealous husband, wealthy wife, and maybe the perfect crime fill this play to the brim with shocking surprises that will keep you guessing until the end. The New York Times called it a cat and mouse waiting game with enough twists and sudden hitches to keep the chills and thrills running. Milwaukee Rep's Associate Artistic Director Laura Braza will direct. Laura's recent shows for Milwaukee Rep include Steel Magnolias, Beehive the 60s musical, and our recent production of Much Ado About Nothing. Also in November, I will be directing my own adaptation of our annual holiday tradition, A Christmas Carol, at the historic Pabst Theatre, running November 28 through December 24. Last fall, we introduced a new Scrooge to our audiences with Milwaukee Rep favorite Matt Daniels taking on the role. Matt's interpretation of the character really captivated audiences, and we are thrilled to announce that he will be back for the production this season, our 48th year of bringing you this holiday classic. The new year has us back in the Stackner Cabaret with the return of our most popular show ever produced in that space, the knee-slappingly funny Wisconsin favorite, Guys on Ice, running January 12 through March 17. Milwaukee Rep premiered Guys on Ice 25 seasons ago, and as we celebrate our 70th anniversary, it felt like the absolute right time to bring back this audience favorite. The production will be once again directed and choreographed by Jeffrey Herbst, Northern Sky Theater's artistic director. Here's a clip from the last time we produced the show back in 2015 to remind you how much fun it is to spend an evening at the theater with these guys.
Life only lasts for a moment. Yeah. Feel the tug, set the hook, and hold on.
There is always cold beer in the bucket. When the fish that we wish for is gone. When the fish that we wish for, the fish that we wish for, the fish that we wish for is gone. When the fish that we wish for, the fish that we wished for, the fish that we wished for is gone. And a snapper hood.
It's reversible, too.
It is made from the stuff that the astronauts flew. For a parka or coat, I don't give a hoot. For the best thing of all is a snowmobile suit. Hurdy toot 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 tooty toot toot. From the top of your hat to the tip of your boot. When it's 30 below, there is no substitute for the comfort and warmth of a snowmobile suit. In the wink of an eye, we could be pulled up to the pie in the sky far away, where the angelfish fly in the sweet by and by, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
Our staff keeps telling me that to truly become a Wisconsinite, I need to get a snowmobile suit, and maybe even a snowmobile. Perhaps this show will inspire me to finally purchase one. January of 2024 in the Quadracci Powerhouse brings us the third production of our classic play initiative, sponsored by the Lynd and Harry Bradley Foundation. After 2 seasons of producing popular Shakespeare productions, we are moving to another type of classic. Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, running January 16 through February 18. This endearing tale of family, friendship, love, and adventure never fails to tug on the heartstrings. And with a new adaptation by prolific playwright Kate Hamel, it's never been more resonant. During the years of the Civil War, ambitious 15-year-old Jo March and her sisters must navigate hardships, heartbreak, and humility as they come of age in a world bound by class and tragedy. Tender and playful, this incredible production will help you fall in love all over again with these four young dreamers as they discover themselves in a country divided. It will be one of our core productions as part of Milwaukee Rep's incredibly popular in-school reading residency programs, which serves over 30 schools each season. Little Women really is a timeless tale, and we're excited to introduce it to a whole new generation of theatergoers. Our second production in the STEMKey studio will be What the Constitution Means to Me, running February 6 through March 10 and directed by Laura Braza. Since its premiere in 2019, this Pulitzer Prize finalist has taken the theatrical world by storm, breathing new life into our Constitution by imagining how it will shape the next generation of Americans. Playwright Heidi Schreck earned her college tuition as a teenager by winning constitutional debate competitions across the country. In this hilarious, witty, and refreshingly honest new play, she revisits her 15-year-old self to trace the profound relationship between four generations of women and the lasting impact of the document that shaped their journey. We've invited Jessie Fisher, who was in our production of Grounded a few years ago and is currently starring in the Broadway production of A Beautiful Noise, to read an excerpt from the piece, which the New York Times said was the best and most important new play when it premiered. Jessie, take it away.
Hello, I'm Jessie Fisher, and I will be giving you a piece from What the Constitution Means to Me by Heidi Schreck. When I was 15 years old, I traveled the country giving speeches about the Constitution at American Legion halls for prize money. This was a scheme invented by my mom to help me pay for college. I would travel to big cities like Denver and Fresno, win a whole bunch of money, bring it home, and put it in my little safety deposit box for later. I was able to pay for my entire college education this way. Thank you. It was 30 years ago and it was a state school, but thank you. A few years ago, I was thinking about the Constitution, and I started to wonder what exactly it was that my 15-year-old self loved so much about this document, because I did. I loved it. I was a zealot. So I called my mom and I asked her to send me the speech, and she had thrown it away. So I decided I would resurrect the speech and the contest based on what I remember about myself at 15. So here are a few things that I remember. In addition to being terrifyingly turned on all the time, I was obsessed with witches and the Salem witch trials, theater, and most importantly, Patrick Swayze. Okay, I'm going to start. I'm going to be 15, but I'm not going to do anything special to make myself 15. So here I am. I'm 15. The Constitution is a living document. That is what is so beautiful about it. It is a living, warm-blooded, steamy document. It is hot and sweaty. It is a crucible. Do you know what a crucible is? A crucible is a pot in which you put many different ingredients and boil them together until they transform into something else, something that is sometimes magic. So you see, the Constitution is like a witch's cauldron. That is one definition. But a crucible is also a severe test of patience and belief. The Constitution can be thought of as a boiling pot in which we are all thrown together in sizzling and steamy conflict to find out what it is we truly believe. That is why it is such a radical document. 202 years ago, A bunch of magicians came together on a sweltering summer day in Philadelphia, and they wanted to kill each other. But instead, they sat down and they performed an act of collective ethical visualization, or as I like to call it, a spell. Now, did they get everything right? No. But that's what amendments are for, aren't they?
Thank you, Jesse. It was so great to see you recently in the fabulous new Neil Diamond Broadway musical, A Beautiful Noise, along with fellow Milwaukee Rep actors Mark Jacoby and Bree Sudia. Our fourth play in the Quadracci Powerhouse will be The Chosen, running March 5 through 31. No, this is not the TV show currently streaming of the same name, but the acclaimed novel by Chaim Potok, adapted by Chaim and writer-director Aaron Posner. We previously produced Chaim and Aaron's adaptation of My Name is Asher Lev in my first season at Milwaukee Rep. The Chosen has been on our shortlist of plays to produce for a while now, and we are thrilled to finally be able to include it in our season. Set in 1940s Brooklyn, the play follows two Jewish boys and their complicated friendship that tests the bounds of belief and understanding. Set against the backdrop of World War II and the creation of the State of Israel, Chaim's acclaimed story balances transformation and tradition, growing up and growing wise, and living out your truths no matter the consequences. Our final piece in the Stackner will be a follow-up to one of our hit shows from the 2021-22 season with Piano Men 2, running March 22 through May 19. Piano Men 2 transforms the Stackner into a sizzling, anything-can-happen piano bar, where the best of rock, pop, classical, Broadway, and more combine to create an unforgettable and unbelievably fun experience. The format is by request, where audiences write down the songs they want to hear pre-show, and about 15 minutes before the performance begins, the performers literally draw the slips out of the request bowl and put a set list together. It's truly amazing how talented these guys are, and it also means that no two performances are ever the same. In a clip from its premiere run, here are Steve Watts and Nigel D. Robinson to give you a taste of Piano Men 2.
You are completely in control of this show. We're going to do a whole bunch of songs for you, all of which are requests. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. But do you love me? What do you love me? Oh, do you love me? Oh, now that I can dance. So the shocking when your feet just can't keep still. Never knew me a better time, I guess I never will. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. It's 9 o'clock on Saturday. Regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin.
We'll wrap up a 70th anniversary season in the Quadracci Powerhouse with Nina Simone, Four Women, playing April 16 through May 12. Nina Simone, Four Women was a piece that we were originally going to produce back in 2021 as part of a 4-play reset season as we slowly reopened from COVID. But as COVID numbers were rising and before there were vaccines, we were unable to perform due to a ban on large gatherings. We are thrilled to finally be able to bring you this incredibly important play. As the creator of some of our nation's most powerful civil rights anthems, Nina Simone shook the world with her music. After the 1963 bombing of the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Simone's tribute song, Four Women, transformed her from gifted pianist to trailblazing activist, charting a new course as an agent of change and healing. This play with music shines a light on how she found her true calling and gave voice to a movement through impactful and inspirational songs like Mississippi Goddam, Go Limp, and Cinnamon. So that's our 2023-24 season. We think we put together a pretty amazing lineup of productions, and we hope that you will join us for as many, if not all, of the shows as you can. Subscriptions go on sale Tuesday, February 14, and there is more information available about all of the productions I've announced this evening on our website. On behalf of my leadership partner, Executive Director Chad Bauman, and the entire Milwaukee Rep staff, we truly thank you for your incredible support, particularly over the last several years, as without you, none of this work we do would be possible. Thanks again for tuning in, and thank you for supporting Milwaukee Rep. Cheers.